Hey everyone. In Super Metroid, you may be aware that you can utilize the glitchy Spacetime Beam to effectively reset the game and collect well beyond the typical maximum number of items, allowing you to achieve over 100% item collection. If you're unfamiliar with Spacetime Beam, check out the link in my video description. Without using glitches, the maximum number of energy tanks, or E-tanks, you can collect is 14, or 21 if you use the Golden Torizo Code. The most obvious way to collect over 14 E-tanks is to perform the traditional Spacetime Beam reset, and then go collect all 14 E-tanks again. But as you could imagine, this takes a while. In this video, I'll show you a method using Spacetime to collect tons of energy tanks much quicker. If you so choose, you can use this method to make your save file selection screen look absolutely ridiculous like this. To begin, head over to the room commonly referred to as the Terminator room, which initially contains an E-tank on the far left. Using the Spacetime Beam, we'll make this tank reappear over and over again. Run all the way to the left until Samus is pressed up against the door. Briefly tap right to make Samus turn around, and ensure that Spacetime Beam is equipped. Now press and hold the shoot button to begin charging Spacetime. While it's charging, press the item select button once to select missiles. Then just tap the shoot button to fire a missile, which will activate the effects of Spacetime and make the top of the screen all glitchy. At this point, you can simply press and hold the jump button, and Samus will hit a transition block over her head. You'll transition briefly into the room to the left, and then automatically transition back into the Terminator room, and the energy tank will be there. Go ahead and collect the tank. Then you can repeat this strategy to collect as many E-tanks as your heart desires, unless that number is really high, which I'll explain in a minute. With a little practice, you can collect 10 E-tanks in under 3 minutes, real time. You can also watch your missile count to keep track of how many tanks you've collected, since you fire one missile each time you activate Spacetime. Do note that I tested this method on a Super Nintendo console. While it is relatively stable on console, it's not perfect and the game might crash, so I'd recommend saving periodically. However, before you save, make sure that you unequip Spacetime Beam. If you try this on an emulator, please let me know in the comments how well this technique works and which emulator you're using. Also note that after using Spacetime and saving the game, if the game does crash while attempting this trick, you'll have to reset, rewatch the intro, and go back to Series Station. You'll also lose your regular missiles, which you need to perform this trick. So if this happens to you, once you arrive back on the planet, just go collect a few missiles, and then you can get some more energy tanks. Once you've acquired as many energy tanks as you desire, there are two main ways to fix the glitched appearance of the top of the screen. First, you can just save and reset, but then you'll have to rewatch the intro, lose your missiles, etc. If you want to avoid that, at least for the time being, you can just save and then kill Samus. When the Game Over menu pops up, choose Yes to continue. You'll restart at the save station and the screen will look normal. However, when you do eventually reload this file from the file selection screen, you'll have to rewatch the intro and lose your missiles at that point. You may be wondering if there is a limit to how many energy tanks you can acquire. In fact, there is a limit, but you probably won't reach it unless you try to. The limit is 326 total energy tanks. I'll explain why that is in a minute. First, I just want to warn you that there are a couple of downsides to having an insane number of energy tanks. These downsides will become apparent in Turian. If you were to reach the limit of 326 energy tanks, and then enter the baby Metroid room with nearly full energy, it would take approximately 2 minutes and 15 seconds for the baby to drain your energy down to 1. And that's assuming you have Variasuit turned off. If Variasuit is equipped, you can double that to 4.5 minutes. Then, in the Mother Brain fight, the baby Metroid won't fly in to rescue you until Samus has very low energy. Waiting for Mother Brain to drain your energy with her Rainbow Beam would take a very long time, so your best bet is to turn off both Varia and Gravity suits and just run into Mother Brain repeatedly. Finally, the worst part. Waiting for the baby Metroid to refill all of your energy. With 326 energy tanks, this process takes a full 9 minutes. And in case you're wondering, if you perform the stand-up glitch and try to kill Mother Brain during this time, she won't actually die until after she kills the baby Metroid. Anyway, let's get back to the limit of 326 energy tanks. If you don't really care why this is the limit, I don't blame you if you stop watching at this point. Just know that if you do collect a 327th E-tank, when the item fanfare ends, you'll immediately die. Just like Samus's ammo counts, her current energy and maximum possible energy are each allotted 16 bits or binary digits of memory. So you might think that her energy could range from all zeros to all ones, which would be 0 to 65,535. However, the game utilizes something called 2's complement to be able to represent negative energy values as well. Simply put, if the leftmost bit is a 0, it represents a positive, or 0, energy value. But if the leftmost bit is a 1, the game interprets it as a negative value. So, Samus's maximum positive energy value is actually a 0 followed by 15 ones, which is 32,767. Samus starts the game with 99 energy, and then gains 100 per E-tank. Therefore, with 326 E-tanks, her maximum energy is 32,699, which, when represented with 16 bits, looks like this. As you probably know, after Samus picks up a new E-tank, the game automatically fills up her energy to its new maximum value. So, if you collect a 327th energy tank, Samus's energy is increased to 32,799, which looks like this in binary. Using the 2's complement system, though, this value actually represents negative 32,737. This means that after Samus collects a 327th E-tank, her energy instantly becomes massively negative in the game's mind, and so she dies. If this ever happens to you, which it probably won't, you'll at least know why. Thanks for watching, everyone, and enjoy all your E-tanks.